Persian music is often described as being built upon 7 modes or Dastgahs, mentioning their names in Persian: Shur, Mahur, Humayun, Segah, Chargah, Rast Panjgah, and Nava. The origins of these names are subject to debate. However, there is consensus that Segah, Chargah, and Rast Panjgah are simply referred to the position of the hand on the musical instrument. That is, they mean the 3rd place, the 4th place, and the 5th place, respectively. From these meanings, it's clear that using the word mode is somewhat misleading. Rather, the 7 Dastgahs are more like systems or scales than modes. Particularly 2 of these Dastgahs include subtypes, which can each be considered a separate mode. Shur is divided into Bayat Turk, Abu Atta, Dashti, and Afshari, each of which is associated with a song of the same name. Also, the Iranian musician and composer Khalegi disagreed with the idea of having 7 Dastgahs, arguing that Mahur and Rast Panjgah are very similar, and Shur and Nava have much in common with each other. Hence, to credit Khalegi, there are only 5 Dastgahs or systems in Persian music. Comparing Persian music with classical music in Western tradition, Khalegi suggested that while the former is based on at least 5 modes, the latter only has 2 modes: the major mode and the minor mode, which in Khalegi's view are identical with Mahur and Humayun, respectively. Little attention is, however, paid to the concept that classical music is theoretically attached to ancient art philosophies, which place emphasis on imitation of nature. Classical composers have frequently turned stories into music, trying obviously to imitate sounds and actions of nature musically. But Persian music, it is easy to see, always uses the same story, being a story about love. More broadly, the persona in Persian music is a lover singing about love. In different modes, this persona might assume different social statuses. For example, in Humayun, the persona is a hero; in Dashti, which is a song of Shur, a herdsman; and in Rast Panjgah, a sage. In all of these modes, it is possible to create both sad and happy songs. Nevertheless, Mahur is most of the time associated with feelings of hope, and with springtime, and the conclusion of the cold and deadness of winter. Dashti is described as bringing calm and tranquil. Rast Panjgah is more meditative than Afshari, which is a subtype of Shur. You can, of course, expand this list, being imaginative. This video is designed to help explore how vast, how beautiful, and how delightful Persian music is. An easy way to appreciate Persian music is to keep remembering the point mentioned earlier. That is, Persian music has a single character, a heartbroken lover, who sings about love. In sad circumstances, this lover might sing Shur, which begins with this melody. Listen. In spring, the lover might sing Mahur, starting with this melody. There are certainly explanations for how the lover would feel in each Dastgah. Let's listen to a few seconds of the initial melody of each Dastgah. Segah, Chargah, Rast Panjgah, Humayun. And finally, Nava. During a performance of a Dastgah, the initial melody is performed in many different ways, sometimes low, sometimes high. The performance is often compared to the flying of a bird, rising high in the air and landing eventually. The word furud is used, being Persian for landing. The analogy is striking. One would feel great joy listening to Persian music indeed. Musicians performing traditional music are more dependent on improvising than composing. They do not create compositions in advance, but create them during the performance. They always perform shur, mahur, and other dastgahs. But each performance is unique, and each brings profound pleasure. Go ahead and Google the traditional music of Iran today. Thank you.